So I'm a general and trauma surgeon. I do breast surgery, primarily take care of patients with breast disease, a lot of breast cancer patients, but I've been in private practice for 30 years. I also have a 28-year career in the military. I'm board certified in general surgery. I'm also boarded in wound care. I'm also the chairman of the Wellness Advisory Board at Pure. So in my practice for many, many years, I've obviously seen a lot of illness, a lot of wounds, a lot of infections, and seen people struggle with things both in this country and across the seas. You know, I've had 4 combat deployments, 6 total deployments with the military. So certainly seen the worst wounds, the most severely injured patients in the world. And so had a lot of experience in that regard, certainly, over the years.
What can you tell us about the coronavirus COVID-19?
First of all, coronavirus is not new. You know, we've had coronavirus around for a long time. And just to let you know, coronavirus, the name has to do with the crown-like projections. And anytime you see it on the news or you see it on a magazine, you'll see, you know, this round thing with these little projections on it. And that's why it's coronavirus. Because if you look at it under an electron microscope, then you can see it, and they're that small. So you literally have to have that kind of a microscope to see these things. And then you see these little projections. So those are sort of the crowns, if you will. That's the coronavirus. Like many viruses, they mutate. This particular one, the COVID-19, apparently originated from Wuhan, China. Not really sure how that happened, but bottom line, viruses mutate all the time. Bacteria mutate all the time. They are constantly, guess what? They're trying to survive, right? Just like the rest of us, you know, and that's how they do it. We figure out a way to kill a virus. They figure a workaround. And the best example I could say is the flu virus. You know, the old swine flu back in 2019 killed almost 20,000 people in this country. It was the H1N1. Okay. Well, you know, last year's was the H2N3. So every year, that's why I have to change the flu vaccine, because those viruses mutate. They create workarounds. You know, they change their RNA in such a way that, guess what, the vaccines no longer work. So, you know, this coronavirus is simply one that's mutated in a way that it's kind of become fairly deadly to certain populations. And that's the big scare now, because it is in some countries very prominent right now. But again, nothing terribly new. This is going to be the recurring theme, right? We have the Ebola, you know, we had the swine flu. Now we got the coronavirus, the COVID-19, and it's going to continue to be this kind of thing. You used to have staph. Now you have MRSA. You used to have enterococcus. Now you got what we call VRE, which is a vancomycin resistant enterococcus. So, you know, all of these bugs, whether the bacteria or the viruses, they're always trying to sort of mutate in ways that they work around the antibiotics and the things that we have to kill them, the vaccines, the antibiotics, et cetera. I mean, the good news is, whether you're focusing on COVID-19 or whatever it is, people are aware, right? And they're vigilant. So they're beginning to say, wait a minute, there's threats out there. They've always been out there, and they're always going to be out there. So what I will say about this is it is bringing people's awareness to a level that they understand there's threats to their health all the time. And if you don't get the good stuff in your body, like we know we have at Pure, then guess what? You're going to be susceptible. So the first thing is you get the organism healthy, right? And you get everything in your immune system, et cetera, in a place that's going to fight well. Because frankly, the people who are so far being killed by this virus are elderly, are people debilitated, typically with respiratory illnesses already. So again, those are people who probably don't have, or just very elderly and sickly from another different ways, perhaps bad habits, probably not good health. And of course, we talk about this all the time at Pure, the fact that our diet simply doesn't have the things in it that we need. And so you have to supplement these days. So, you know, the first thing is make the organism, us, you know, stronger. And then secondly, being vigilant and using products that are, one, safe, and two, effective to combat the bugs that we know are going to be in our environment. I make a lot of wounds in people every day. You know, that's what surgery is. And those people need to heal. And if they don't heal, I'm on the line. You know, I mean, it's not good for me. It's not good for them. So there's been lots of unhealthy products that we've been putting on people that we are espousing fights infection and is healthy and safe on the skin. Intact skin is your best defense, okay? So if you got good, healthy skin, that's the best thing you can possibly have. Skin Defense is an amazing product. It's got a chemical in it called hypochlorous acid. Jared, what hypochlorous acid is it is the thing that your white blood cells make in the body and have since the beginning of time, every time they combat infection. You know what? The body does a really good job at that. If we have the right, resources in our body, the right vitamins, the right minerals, the right food sources, our body's defense system is amazing. It is fighting off things left and right every day of the week from all kinds of different directions, whether it's coming in through the nose or the mouth or the skin or any number of ways. We're being attacked all the time. So our white blood cells make hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid is the killing agent in bleach, okay? Skin defense is no solution. It was never bleach. It will never be bleach. It is the most stable hypochlorous acid on the market, 24-month shelf life. And it's been known for 100 years. But forever, Jared, what you had to do is you had to have a $4,000 generator. You could make this magical stuff out of salt water, but then 30, 60 minutes later, it's salt water again, because it's a very unstable solution. This chloride bond is very unstable. The chloride is what kills, right? I mean, that's why you put it in your, you put it in your toothpaste, you put it in your swimming pool, and so you have to have that, and that's the effective agent in it. But the hypochlorous acid is something that we as mammals are completely protected from. It has no impact on our cells. In fact, it's healthy for our cells. It's literally like pouring liquid oxygen on your skin. So again, no impact on our healthy cells when we have a scrape, scratch, burn, whatever. In fact, it activates macrophages, which is the thing that come to a site of an injury, which is why it's so great for skin issues. But the hypochlorous acid also, by the way, is lethal to every bacteria, every virus, every fungus we've ever put it on. And guess what? That's because God made it. He made it originally, and our manufacturer has simply figured out how to make a stable solution of the same thing. So you can put it on a bottle so people can carry it with them to protect themselves. Now, again, unlike everything else, you put alcohol on your skin, guess what? It starts burning, it starts drying, your skin starts cracking. Guess what? Now you're more susceptible than you ever were because now you've broken down the skin barrier. And again, that's the same thing with chlorhexidine, alcohol, peroxide, quaternary ammonia is worst things you can possibly do because they're toxic, can cause permanent eye damage, etc. But those are the things that we're typically cleaning with. Those are the things that we think we're protecting ourselves with. And frankly, I think we're breaking down our immune system every single day with those kinds of products. What are you gonna do with the alcohol? You can put it on your hands, but you can't do this. You can't spray it on your face safely, man. And you can totally do that with skin defense. And that is critical because this COVID-19, you know how it spreads? It's droplet infection. People cough, people sneeze, which is why they say one of the ways to protect yourself is stay away from those people. Those people ought to have the mask on. You don't need the mask on when you're healthy, but you ought to have 6 feet from those folks. And yes, you ought to use soap and water and do a 20-second hand wash, but guess what? You don't carry around a sink and water and soap with you all the time. You got to have something you can travel with. And that's the beauty of skin defense. That's the beauty of the chemical we have in this product. Because let's face it, man, someone sneezing in your face, what are you going to do? You can pour alcohol in your eyes? Actually can spray the skin defense in and around your face very safely without any concern for any injury. And I believe very good protection. So, like I said, that's the magic, man, is you can use this stuff anywhere safely. You can use it on your children. You can use it on elderly folks who are debilitated and have sensitive skin or fragile skin. You can use it on your pets because mammals are protected from the effects of HOCl, and yet everything else is lethal to them.